Oh, sorry, I'm recording now. And I'm Haley Northcutt.
Okay. So, about Albert Bandura, he is a Canadian-American psychologist who is the David Starr Jordan Professor of Social Science and Psychology at Stanford University. He's also known for his social learning theory, and he's quite different from other learning theorists who look at learning as a direct result of conditioning, reinforcement, and punishment, because Bandura asserts that most human behavior is learned through observation, imitation, and modeling. So the social learning theory actually pretty much divides into three categories, which will determine human behavior. The first one is environmental factors, which include social norms, access and community, influence on others, and the ability to change your own environment. Behavioral factors, which include skills, practice, and self-efficiency. Um, and cognitive factors, which are also called personal factors, which include knowledge, expectation, and attitudes.
Some ways that you can apply Bandura's theory into the classroom would be carefully selecting your audio and visuals that you place and choose to use inside your lessons to create a sense of collective efficacy. That means to emphasize teamwork and make sure they know what exactly goes in when you're working with a team, what exactly you have to do. Everyone kind of comes together on a specific goal, which goes to our next bullet point, which means to actually set goals that you want your students to accomplish. It's easier when your learners know exactly what you're wanting out of them. And also to make sure you're recording their accomplishments, like whether it's a journal or whether it's like an actual sheet of paper, just make sure they are recording like everything that they do and everything that they see. So that way, once a month or whenever you want to, once a week after the lesson is done, you want to make sure you celebrate their hard work and what all they did together and what they accomplished as a team. And then last, you want to make sure you incorporate technology, especially now with classes being face-to-face and online. You want to make sure that you know how to incorporate technology, whether it be sharing on a website where they can share with their family and friends where everyone can see, or just an actual activity that they do with their friends online. And basically, Bandura's social learning theory, he wanted to study the way that people learned through other people. He wanted to see if you put two people that were different in one space together, how they would leave the room after like communicating with each other, if they took away things from one another. What I noticed about something that we've been reading on concept-based curriculum instruction, it had a lot of things that kind of went hand in hand with Bandura's social learning theory. For example, one thing is that they both allow learners to think for themselves and kind of make decisions based on their own judgment, which means like when you're going out with teamwork, you aren't really giving like specific A/B question or answers. You're letting the learners make up their own questions and answer them. Another thing was that they move away from a teacher-driven classroom. Bandura's social learning theory and both concept-based curriculum instruction, it both kind of showed a more student-driven classroom where the students are the ones teaching and learning. It's not just teachers standing up in front of the classroom just giving information. And then three-dimensional curriculum, I thought that was really cool that you could see in both of them. They use more of a three-dimensional curriculum rather than the two-dimensional. They focused beyond facts and skills. They had lots of different things that Bandura put into his toolbox when it came to teaching and instruction models, and same to go with concept-based curriculum and instruction. They focus on things other than just facts and skills. And how do you actually go about using his theory into a classroom? One thing that he mentioned that I thought was awesome, that you want to make sure that as a teacher, as an educator, you're being a role model for your students, because one of the things that his theory emphasized was students or children learning off of one another, whether it be their peers or their teacher, whoever they see that they may feel like they want to look up to, that's going to be someone that they try to imitate. And so it's really important to just make sure that you're providing a very environment in your classroom where everyone feels safe and that you're on your best, like teaching students manners and all of the above, and just being a really good role model to all students.
So the key factors of success in Bandura's social learning theory includes attention, which we cannot learn if we are not focused on the task. Retention, which means we learn by internalizing information in our memories. Motor reproduction, which means we produce previously learned information. Behavior skills knowledge when required, and motivation. And so the implications of social learning theory on teachers and students are positive behavior, self-efficacy, and motivation to learn. Self-efficacy, according to psychologist Albert Bandura, who originally proposed the concept, is a personal judgment of how well one can execute courses of action required to deal with prospective situations. I relate this back to the readings because one of the key factors of success in Foundation for Young Adults is agency, which is comprised of 4 things, which is intentionality, forethought, self-reactiveness, and self-reflectiveness, which I think that it corresponds most with self-reactiveness because it's the one that has self-regulation skills and knowledge to carry out the course of action, and self-reflectiveness, which mentions personal efficacy. And so to finish it off, the social learning theory is what determines human behavior as proposed by Bandura, which includes cognitive factors or personal factors, behavioral factors, and environmental factors. And these are our references.
Actually, go very nicely.
Sorry.